losses in the Super Sixes, the 2 points that was carried out from the group stages, they have to win the two remaining games.
I suppose the only benefit they have is that when they made 112 this afternoon, that one is far too wide outside the off stump, giving us why the Nepal fans are really starting to get the atmosphere going here. Great scenes out and amongst the crowd. They managed to drag it out long enough. They'll be gutted not to have won the game, but the fact that they pulled it all the way till the penultimate ball or the third last ball means that they've taken basically no net run rate hits.
And credit goes to UAE, the way they defended a low total of just 112.
Nepal fans are chanting wicket, wicket, wicket. Will they be able to inspire their boys? Another factor, I suppose, if you look at the schedule for all these teams, it's not easy, is it? Samoa and Japan have the benefit of a rest day today, but then they'll play 3 in 3 days to round things out. And if you look at Japan's schedule in particular, they play Wednesday morning, Thursday afternoon, Friday morning. All during the day, all in the heat. That is going to be torturous.
Yes, it is, and we felt it was very hot in the morning games.
Yeah, it really is warm at 10 a.m. Worked into the leg side will just be the single. For Qatar, they haven't had any damage done yet, but they might just look to take a bit of risk with the final 15 balls of this power play. Time to try and get ahead of the rate for me.
It's a kind of a steady start by Qatar, not taking any risk. They're bowling in good areas. Sompal Kami and Dipender Singh Airi, the two openers for Nepal today. The two fielders in the boundary line are deep square leg and deep mid wicket.
So he goes down the ground instead and just out of the reach of Kushal Patel, who got a great line on it and then executed a fantastic throw to put Ali under all sorts of pressure. More phenomenal fielding.
Didn't time is as much as he'd liked. Ali, this is good work by Kushal Patel. Turning very quickly and throwing the ball to the non-striker's end.
Wasn't that far from a direct hit either. Awesome athleticism on show from so many of these Nepal players, as Zubair Ali is just taking some time to readjust some of his protective equipment, but he's fit to continue. Lianage trying to break the shackles, trying to get going, and that's going to get going and goes a long way. Completely the wrong line from Sompal Kami, and well, in essence all he had to do was get any bat on it to help it away, not just for 4 but all the way for 6.
That was short ball into the hip, nicely picked up by the batter there, down to long leg for a maximum. This is a good start for Qatar, 29 for no loss in the 4th over. Still 2 overs of power play remaining. Lianage was 7 of 10, now he's moved to 13 of 11.
Yeah, gets that strike rate into sort of positive territory above a run a ball. We'll round out an expensive over for Nepal with a single. Good stuff from Qatar, showing real promise in this chase. 30 for none after 4. Really promising start this for Nepal, for Qatar. They've been so good. 2 left-handers combining effectively, and for Nepal they need a wicket. And they turn to Nandan Yadav, who's had a bit of an indifferent tournament. Hasn't been above par, but hasn't been necessarily right on the money either. They come on from the far end. This is helped round the corner. Should get back for two comfortably enough as Sampal Kami does the fielding under the watchful eye of the Oman cricket scoring team, who have been exceptional as always in helping us with all of the player identification and making sure all those numbers go through to the Cricket Club's website, and of course pairing your graphics here on ICC TV.
Qatar's running between the wickets has impressed me a lot. They're running very hard.
Yeah, probably not quite at the same rates as Nepal did in the first innings, but certainly being positive. As that's lasered through the offside. Kushal Malla won't cut that off down at deep third. Well, we saw this in the first innings. Pace on the ball, I don't think is the way to go on this surface. Nandan Yadav has a look back of slight dismay, and Lian Agay, who hasn't been in form, is playing himself into it.
It's a powerful cut shot, a square drive, backward square drive into the gap. Kushal Malla, he was the third man, the wide third man fielder, but he had no chance of stopping that. It was hit very hard by Lian Agay. Moves to 20 of 14. How that 6 and 4 changed his strike rate towards the positive side.
Yet again, Nepal are in a difficult position. In every match that they've played, they've been in trouble. They were in trouble against Kuwait with the bat, despite Kushal Bertel batting almost the entirety of the innings for his player of the match 66. They needed Gulshan Jah to get them out of the trouble towards the end of that first innings. And that's just picked up a long way. Yadav not learning his lesson. He's going pace on again. 12 from the first 3 deliveries of this over. Qatar ahead in the chase and giving Nepal a real fright here.
This is a dominating start by Qatar, especially Lian Agay. Just went through the line of the ball, hit it straight as an arrow towards the side screen.
Qatar now are thinking about blowing this Super 6 wide open. Tell you something, the UAE will be watching on in this game and saying, we quite like the look of this. We like a bit of chaos being brought to the table. We'd love Nepal being dragged back down into the mix of a lack of certainty of World Cup qualification. Nepal in trouble here. Goes to a hard length. Just don't think pace on is the way to go on this surface. It's just skidding on and asking to be hits.
It's actually that kind of a wicket where you should get your pace off and hit the deck. You'll get variable bounce. There is a low bounce as well. The ball certainly staying low from the good length area. "12 runs of this over, already in 4 deliveries."
Squares him up. That's pitched outside leg, so can't be given out. Direct hit from Lamachani, and good awareness from the leg spinner to sprint in himself to make sure there's no ability for an overthrow. His 4 overs will be important, probably going over the top as well.
Over the top and slightly pitching outside the leg stump of the left-hander. This is a good start by Qatar.
And they've got that required run rate down to under 7 and over. Yadav needs to get out of this over, and I think Powdell needs to turn to his spinners. Remember, he's got one less spin option in the team this evening because there is no Lalit Rajbanshi. Maybe the propensity of left-handers in this Qatar side being a factor in that decision too. Hammered away very handsomely. Lian Agay all over Yadav in that over. It's gone for 16. And Nepal are in real trouble because Qatar's opener is the 2 southpaws off to a flying start. And the men in maroon in control, 46 for none.
Again, it was a pace on delivery outside the off stump, giving away too much of room to the left-hander. He just had to put bat on ball, get the gap. That is what he did. 5 overs has been bowled Qatar. Very good start, 46 for no loss.
Laksha Anek Energy 8 Energy भनेकै Red Bull. 100% प्योर सनफ्लावरबाट बनेको धारा हेल्थ रिफाइन्ड सनफ्लावर ओइल।
गजबको पिरो अब 120 ग्राम 20% एक्स्ट्रा तौलसँगै रु 50 मा गजबको पिरो बबाल पिरो छ।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
IME Life बालकिरण जीवन बीमा।
Was in control for the men from the Emirates. As Dipender Singh Ari will have a change of end, and they have learnt not to run one anywhere in his vicinity. Good call from Ali.
Dipender Singh Airi, he has a run out of his own bowling earlier in this tournament.
Fielders flying everywhere all of a sudden. Deep backward square. Sundeep Johra is going to go out. He was so good in the field last night. Extra reinforcement onto the offside. 5-4 offside field. Zairi finds the edge, but they'll find a single as Lamachani does enough to keep it to just one. Haven't really been at their best through this qualifier, Nepal. However good the results and dramatic the results have been, they are unbeaten, but they probably aren't playing.
Yeah, they played a good cricket against West Indies the first two games when they won the series by 2-1.
Also just shows there are no easy games in associate cricket. Straight to Kushal Malla. Good man to have in there. He'll understand his angles very well. Every dot is a good result for Nepal, but they need wickets. Chipped in the air, just agonisingly out of reach of Kushal Patel, who flies through the air, attempts to make a good play in it, but Lianage gets a boundary to bring the 50 up.
It was overpitched, hit it over mid-off. Patel trying to grab that with one hand but couldn't get to it. A very happy looking dugout of Qatar. Very good start. 51 for no loss in the 6th. The last over of the power play.
Less than 100 required, Paresh. And for Nepal, the only way they'll get back into this contest will be by taking wickets. Will get easier for the bowling team outside of the power play, but the power plays belong to only one team, and that is Qatar.
Mirza Mohammad Beg was dead right about batting second will be much easier. That is what he said.
Could have been interesting if that was picked up cleanly. Powell just overran it as he sprinted in. It's going to be 7 from Irie's third over. 6 bowled. Qatar really looking good. 53 for none.
This is the power play highlights. Power play belongs to Qatar in the first innings. Also, the power play belonged to Qatar. This was helped round the corner for
Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
विदेशमा हुनुहुन्छ आफ्नो विदेशी नम्बर